Hello all of you wonderful people, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, and I am back with another kind of episode in a weird format that I've been sprinkling around all of the different What Culture channels, which is basically boiling down to what every X thinks of Y. And X in this case is very apt, because we're going to be talking about what Professor X thinks about every major X-Men member. Now, Zoe Miskelly wrote this article, and she said that it was the perfect idea for me to present, and I was like, oh, brilliant, maybe it's because she respects me. She thinks that I too try and gather a team of like-minded, superpowered people to try and spread amazing content all over the place, and then I was just like, no, it's not. It's because I sit down a lot, and I'm bold. Thanks. So yeah, let's get on with it, shall we? And yes, before you say anything, the reason we're doing every major X-Men mutant member, because if we didn't, I would be here all year. So yeah, with this in mind, I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and this is what Professor X thinks of every major X-Men mutant member. Number 15, Kitty Pryde. Here at the Institute for Gifted Youngers, we take great pride in helping our students unlock their full potential. Some may go on to become great scholars, others will do fantastic work for human-mutant relations, and some of you might become literal pirates and roam the seas with dragons. To be honest, I'm kind of glad that she's out of the Institute now, because then at least Colossus will stop trying to sniff around after her. She was 14, mate. What the hell were you thinking? Yes, of course I saw. I see everything going on around here. What were you doing? Oh, I bet you'd like to phase out of this conversation, but you can't now, you lead lad lump. Number 14, Rogue. So, Don't Kiss and Tell definitely has a new meaning when it comes to Rogue, because you will likely end up in a coma if you lock lips with her. That being said, she is a staunch member of the team, and she has been a valuable ally across the years. It's just a shame that she has been a bit fickle as time has gone on, and it does seem that whoever she's trying to impress will hold a lot of power over her. Luckily, she's landed here with me, a reclusive billionaire who sends teenagers on suicide missions. That sounded better in my head. Number 13, Gambit. Oh, I'm Gambit. Oh, I'm the poster boy for an emo band that your sister probably listened to when she was 13. Get out of it, mate. You ruin every single poker night that we try and do when you try and do one of your tricks to impress one of the students' mothers. Although I do kind of like it, actually, when he throws the entire deck onto the floor and then takes a shit on it and calls it New 52 Pickup. Oh, take that, DC. Number 12, Jubilee. Yeah, look, I know she was a little whiny in the animated TV show, but she's a good kid with a good heart, alright? You leave her alone. Plus, we don't really want to annoy her too much because she could literally kill everyone in the entire school if we're not careful. And she was also a vampire at one point. You know what? Actually, that one's better left unsaid. Number 11, Colossus. Yes, we're talking about you again, you new metal nonce. What the hell were you thinking? Have some pride in yourself and not one that's gone on the bloody seas. You keep saying that you have got a moral compass, but that span right down into oblivion when you thought that you'd go and have a bit of sniff of the kitty. I know that the Deadpool movies made you look cool, but I swear to God, if you ever touch any one of these students again, then I will call Magneto on speed dial and he will come over here personally and neuter you before you can go crying to Mother Russia. Number 10, Magneto. Hey, buddy, old pal, old friend of mine. Do you want to not kill so many people in brutal ways, please? I mean, some of them were pretty cool. That coin kill going through the head, that was actually pretty cool in retrospect. But the paperclip murder, that was a bit too rich for my blood. Can't we just go back to the way things were? You know, just me and you playing chess, and then you'd accuse me of being a lovable rogue when I'd use my mind-reading powers to see what you were going to play. You'd be like, oh, I might be Magneto, but you're a Mag Cheeto. Good times. Can't we just get the old band back together? Number 9, Angel. So you think in a society that has the concept of these like archangels, literal beings with wings that descend from the heaven to help them smite evil, that they would actually be very on board with a kid who literally does that. But no, unfortunately, he was completely shunned and had to hide his wings from his parents for ages, but luckily now he's been given a new lease of life here in the school. I mean, it was a bit weird when he decided to go for metal wings, because obviously every time that he stretched a bit weird, it would almost poke somebody's eye out. But still, you leave him alone. He's a good boy. Number 8, Nightcrawler. What is it with my students and weird love lives? Kurt, your foster sister is not a good mate. Just get your sen on Tinder, mate. Everyone loves to have a good bamf there. You'll do fine, especially with that beard. That's a good look. That being said, his skills are infinitely useful and he is a great member of the team. Plus, he also acts as a very important lesson to everyone who comes into contact with him. Just because things appear different to the societal norm does not mean that they are to be feared. He is a great lad. Number 7, Beast. Well, as things stand, Hank McCoy should be basically leading the Earth's finest scientists and engineers because he is insanely smart. Problem is that the rest of humanity seems to have a no blue, no hair, no shoes, no shirt policy going on. So unfortunately, he's left here kind of, well, using his massive intellect to make sure that people don't blow up the school at every given chance. I'd like to go at least 1 year without that happening. Number 6, Storm. Have you ever seen Thor and Aurora fight? It was spectacular and something that hammered home 2 points very clearly. Storm is an absolute badass and she dresses like an absolute warrior. I love this, and I'm not just saying that because she rocked a mohawk during a hurricane, and obviously not having any hair makes me fall in love with anyone who has good hair. Moving on, she's a great teacher, a great ally, and an even better friend. Number 5, Iceman. So Bobby Drake is one of the most underestimated X-Men that I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. He's insanely powerful, he's loyal to a fault, and he's been on nearly every single mutant team that's ever been, existed. So yeah, he's pretty amazing. Plus, what makes him so special is that when he was chased out of his hometown, he didn't just return and use his powers on those people to get petty revenge. No, he went out of his way to prove every single day how useful and helpful he could be, to show them and teach them how wrong they were. Fantastic role model. You all could learn something, especially you, Colossus. Number 4, Cyclops. The one, the only, the guy who won't stop scrawling with his laser eye beams. Professor X is a chrome dome dipstick in the men's locker room. Yes, I know it was you. Cyclops. And I mean, yes, we've had our ups and downs, but you know what? I can think of no better leader in the field than Cyclops. Now, I know what you might be thinking, that he's a bit boring, but you know what? That's not true at all. What he's showing is restraint. This is the type of guy that you could take to an orgy and the only thing that he'd sample is the bloody buffet. He knows when to keep things on lockdown because he's seen the devastating effects if he doesn't. Fantastic lad. Plus, he's probably the only person who can wear shades inside and not look like an utter dick. Number 3, Jean Grey. So, Jean Grey. On the one hand, she's a lovely woman who has been a fantastic assistant to me over the years in both my scientific research and in the field. On the other hand, though, there's the potential billions of lives that she ended that one time that she decided to obliterate a planet. It's why we have the little jokes are back and forth in the lab. It's why I've come up with the nickname for her, Moral Jean Grey, moral grey area. She hates it. Oh, what was that? No. We're not going to talk about that time that I was actually in love with her. Shut up, Colossus. What gives you the right? You can't turn this back on me, you tin pot teeny bopper. Number 2, Wolverine. So despite Wolverine playing the role of dad who goes off for milk and never comes back quite a lot of the time, he does actually seem to love us deep down. And I mean, he has actually killed us quite a lot in a few other alternate timelines. But then again, who hasn't? You know what I'm saying? It's just par for the course. And you know what? I kind of had to have him as part of my collection. I mean, staff roster, because of the fact, Weapon X, Professor X, it's kind of my thing. And number 1, Professor X. Look, I can't help that I'm important, okay? I'm the best. And there we go, my friends. That was what Professor X thinks about every single X-Men mutant member, or at least the major ones. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below, as well as any other suggestions for what X thinks of Y that you'd like to see on this or any other channel, because I'd love to make them. They're really fun to do, and they allow me to just do very silly things in character. Hope that you enjoyed that. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so over, which is, I'll redo that one, I think. If you want to follow me on social medias, you can do so on Twitter over at RetroJ with a 0, or you can go to Live and Let's Dice. It's my personal board game channel / gaming channel where I stream every single Wednesday and Sunday. Hope to see you over there. But before I go, my friends, I just want to say one thing. The X-Men are one of these fantastic, quintessential storylines that we can apply to our real-life society about not judging people because of how they look or how they act. It's basically about acceptance, about overcoming hostility. And I really think that that's a message that we need now more than ever. Treat your neighbor with love and respect because they, much like you, deserve it. Build bridges instead of burning them. That is the most important lesson going forward. Big love from me to you, you big ledge. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.